In this video, I'll show you how to program your F-16's HARM target table in DCS World using the correct ALIC codes, allowing your AGM-88s to correctly identify and engage enemy radars like the Roland, the SA-6, the SA-10, and more. Keep in mind, these ALIC codes and the RWR symbols should transfer to the F-18 as well. Let me know in the comments if that is not the case. A number of the last few missions Punch and I have flown, we have flown against Roland SAM systems. And the problem I ran into is the Roland system is not in the threat tables for the F-16 by default. So we have to enter in those codes. As you can see here, I am in active pause, and right in front of us is a Roland SAM system on the RWR, indicated right here by the RO. First thing I'm going to do is pull up the weapons page for the HARM. We're not using the HARM targeting system or the HAD page today. Today we'll be using the weapons page. First thing you want to do is enter air to ground mode. Make sure you, right here on OBS 6, select your AGM-88s. Make sure they are powered on. My personal preference is I put the weapons page here on OBS 12, where the targeting pod is. So I will click once, click twice, and then select the weapons page. Here is the HARMS sensor page, or HAS page, or the AGM-88 HARM. Currently it's showing right here on OBS 2 is Table 1 is selected. Currently Table 1 has the SA-10 Big Bird clamshell, SA-11, and a snowdrift radar. And then you can click OBS 2 to cycle between the tables. This is Table 2 and Table 3. Select it again to go back to Table 1. Using the DCS F-16's flight manual, I took the RWR symbols and ID numbers associated with each radar system and compiled this Kneeboard for use. I have 3 Kneeboards. I will put them in the description for you to download and use. The first one has air defense radar systems and their RWR codes and IDs. The next one will be air threats, so aircraft. Just keep in mind the difference between ground and air threats. On the RWR, aircraft will have carets above their symbols, while ground targets and naval targets do not. So if you are being spiked by a 15 symbol with a caret over it, that's an F-15. And if it does not have a caret over the top, that's going to be an SA-15. It's very important to know that your cap flight's not locking you up and that it is actually the SAM site that's locking you up. Currently in this mission, I am not expecting an SA-10, so keep in mind when you change these codes, you will replace whatever is by default in these tables. So do not change a table code that you need to keep. If you're expecting an SA-10, use the next line down and get rid of the Big Bird or a different radar system. Alright, to bring up on the DED, the information that we need to change on this table, right here on OSB5 on the weapons page, click on UFC, and that will bring it up on the DED. Currently, Table 1 is selected. You can use the rocker switch if you need to switch between the tables to select whichever one you want. 1, 2, and 3. So I don't expect an SA-10 in this mission. I'm going to replace the SA-10 with the Roland. What we need to do is input the ID into one of these selection areas on the DED page to change it. Pull up the Kneeboard with the air defense radar systems. Look down and find the radar system that you want to populate. Right here. There's TUR at number 205, and RO is the RWR identifier. And 201 Marauder Roland, also an RO. In this case, it's not the early warning radar Roland system on the ground, it's the actual missile launcher itself. So we will use ID number 201. If you use ID number 205, the AGM-88 will not track onto the tracked vehicle Roland SAM system. So make sure you select which system that you want to replace on the threat table. Right now we'll just select the first one, which is the SA-10. Go up here onto the numpad on the upfront controller, and I'm going to enter in 201. Hit enter, and as you can see, it has changed to RO. So how I engage the Roland, just like I did in the most recent mission with Punch, instead of HARMS sensor, I'm going to change that to position mode. And as you can see here, Roland is populated on table 1 where I put it. So I select the OBS right next to it. It will highlight it. indicating that you are locked onto that return and I'm firing at steer point 1 because steer point 1 for me in this mission is set up pretty close but not right on top of the radar. As you can see up here in my HUD, I'm getting the flashing rectangle indicating that I am ready to launch. Let's go ahead and turn off active pause and engage this Roland. Magnum, Roland. I know I ran into a couple situations where Punch made the mission and I didn't expect to have Rolands as a part of the mission, and I kind of vapor lock and forget that I have to enter in the IDs onto the threat table to be able to shoot. So it takes me a little bit of time sometimes to get a harm off to cover Punch. And thank you for joining me at Nellis today for this tutorial. I hope it helps. No aircraft were harmed in the making of this video, except all of them. If you enjoy the flight, hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next sortie.